Hey, yo, we back at it again. You know, it's your boy Ray representing Ray Ray's podcast. You know, I'm coming live from the beautiful downtown Dallas, live from the 9th floor of Hello Studios. Thank you for tuning in, watching, and listening to us again. Thank you. That's greatly appreciated. Still make sure you're going to like, subscribe, sharing all the content. We greatly appreciate that. Man, if this is your first time watching or listening to us today, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, your busy schedule to tune in and watch this. And, you know, like I said, if it's your first time watching this, I want you to know something I like to do to start the show off. I like to pour back into you, you know, say some positive words because, you know, people be going through certain situations, you know, certain hardships with life. So I kind of want to help, you know, ease that, you know. So hit Control Alt Delete on your day, your week, your month, whatever we need to do. Let's do that, all right? So get your swag on. Be confident when you say this. So just in case nobody told you today, I just want you to know that you're beautiful, you're loved, you're needed, you're alive for a reason. Hey, you're stronger than you think. Whatever situation you're going through, you're going to get through this, all right? On my show here, Ray Ray's podcast, I'm glad that you're alive, and I always remember, don't give up. So when tough situations and hard times come, when you keep these positive words and affirmations in your mind, then it'll always be on autopilot when these situations come. Like, you know what? I can't get through this. I can do what I say I can do. All right? Bet. Let's get to the show, all right? So we got a great guest in the building today. So I don't know if you remember back in the day when we were in gym studios, old studios. You know, we first started Ray Ray's podcast about a year into it. We did a 3-part series called Men versus Women. And this young lady, she was one of the co-hosts of that series. Yo, give a warm Ray Ray's podcast welcome to my friend, my homie, Miss Malysa Lee. How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good. See the people, they love you. They're glad to have you back. They got you live on TV now, live on camera, so there's just audio so they can see you. So what's up? How you been? You doing all right?
I've been doing good. I'm actually married now. Who would have thought?
Yeah, listen to those old episodes. Who would ever thought that one? But hey, congratulations on that. So happy for you. Glad, you know, you got tied a knot. Man, it's been about 2.5 years or so. So I'm glad to have you back. Be able to chop it up and actually for this time around, people really get to know you for you. And, you know, instead of like the different situations and topics we talked about before, the men versus women, all right? So let's dive right into it. Let's get into it. Let's talk to people about what it is that you do. And, you know, I want you to talk to me like, how did you get into that position? Because I know, you know, you had to start at the bottom to get to where you at. So take us on that journey.
Thank you for having me.
No, anytime.
So I actually was in the medical field for 8 years before I became an entrepreneur. Now I am a aerospace and mechanical engineer. This actually just not fell into my lap, but it was thrown at me. You know, I have an older sister. She's a nurse as well, but my dad was like, hey, you got to do this. I said, excuse me? What do you mean? My dad was like, you are going to be the one that needs to learn the business. So I was like, daddy's girl. I was like, okay, sure. Why not? So I learned the business. I fell in love with it. And I realized how much money he was actually outsourcing to other companies for engineering. So I was like, yo, Dad, that's a lot of money. I need that in my pocket.
Right.
Stop, Dad, I got you. Don't worry. So I ended up going back to school and then became an aerospace and mechanical engineer. And I learned everything within a couple years. And I told my dad, I was like, hey, how about I buy you out? And he was like, what do you mean? I said, hey, how about you relax? You took care of me ever since I was younger. Let me take care of you, you know? So he was able to retire, him and my mother. Well, my mother has been retired for like 20 plus years.
Dang.
I need to be that housewife. I don't want to work. Nah, just kidding. Can't be that girl. But, you know, I bought over the business and I basically structured it completely different. And when I did that, I fell in love with the business. You know, being able to see something when it's nothing and being able to create something, you basically fall in love. And finding a solution for everyone's problem is what I love to do. Um, I just love to be able to have all the answers. So if I don't know anything, I'm always going to research it and be able to give you that answer that you need.
Facts. That's dope. You got a problem to solve for yourself. So the industry you're in, I'm pretty sure is a heavy male-dominated industry, all right? Talk to us about some of the challenges you had to overcome being a woman in your industry, but also being towards the top of your industry. Talk to me about that.
Okay. So a lot of male or men in general, they don't like to hear what you have to say, right? Because they feel that in history, women, they lack knowledge and men are more superior than women, right? So when you think about everything relatively, you realize, okay, hey, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I've been in this industry for 20 years. I know what I'm doing. But when someone comes in and say, hey, I have a solution for you, or what is your issue, or what is your problem, and being able to understand everything to the very little detail is what is important, right? Because a lot of people, they have selective hearing. But women, they will remember everything from years ago and still bring it back to what it is today.
Trust me, I know. Know the date and time. Like, where were you at September 5th at 2:24 p.m.? I called you, and you dropped the phone call real quick. Like, yo, dang, calm down, Inspector Gadget. Like, yo, it ain't that crucial. Trust me, yeah, dude. But, I know you're at the top of your field, and the reason why I know that is because I know you were featured in Forbes. I know they don't feature just anybody in Forbes magazine. So talk to us how that came about.
Okay, so with Forbes, they actually came up to me and was like, hey, I would like for you to be a part of the business council. You have a lot of knowledge and you're able to succeed, and with all your network and your knowledge and everything that you have, we see growth, right? So when you think about growth in general, it's 0 to 100, right? So they basically was surprised, right? Because I ended up purchasing the company from my father, and within 6 months of purchasing the company, I went from making $300,000 to making $2 million a year.
Jeez, that's a big jump.
That's a huge jump.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah, especially when you are woman-owned as well as minority-owned. You kind of have an advantage, right? But not just that, I put in the work, and I'm on the same floor and walk on the same floor as everyone else. I don't put myself on a higher pedestal or any of that. So I think that's what helped me be successful and grow overall.
So that's one of the things about being a business owner. You gotta know how to do every detail of the job. Just in case someone lacks off or someone has to miss time from work, you can just hop right in like, okay, we're not gonna miss a beat. So that's a very important thing for when you have business or you run a business, how to know all the ins and out of the business. And I really commend you on that because, like I said, it's probably not an easy field you're doing because I know you do things from welding. What all the things do you do?
I'm able to get down to the nitty gritty. So for me, I like to master everything, right? I know a lot of CEOs in general are not able to drive a forklift or to cut material or to look at a measuring tape and know, hey, this is 5/8, 7/8, or know how to actually build and fabricate versus project managing something, right? Saying something versus actually being on the field and actually doing it is completely different. So with my business, I let my employees know, like, hey, you're not alone. I'm not going to push you and expect you to hit a certain number for me or expect for you to do something if I can't do it for myself, right? So I'm able to work a brake machine. I'm able to cut material. I'm able to shear material. I'm able to weld. Wherever there is a need for my employees, I'm out there with them in the heat, doing whatever I have to do, so they know that, hey, I respect you more because, hey, you're not just writing my checks, but you're actually out here doing things with me and understanding and knowing exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you get a whole nother level of respect level from your employees. Like, okay, you're not just one that just boss orders. You know, you're out here and you're in the mud getting it with us. And I've always appreciated people that can do it as well as they can talk it. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I want to talk about kind of your work life balance because, like I said, you're recently married. You got the kids, you got work, you got other stuff you do. How do you make the balance in time to get everything fit in that you need to have fit in?
For me, it's actually really hard. I don't have that balance, to be honest. So with me being newly married and I was independent or still independent till now, it's hard for someone to just come into your life and try to do certain things when you have a certain routine or a certain way you do certain things, right? That works for you. Right? So being able to adapt and say, okay, hey, this guy is helping me and is trying to do whatever he's doing to help you versus like, oh my God, I can do this by myself. But to have that extra hand to help you, whether it's with your kids, doing like home cleaning or cooking or, doing home capabilities, I guess you can say, or tasks versus things to do at your business. My husband, we actually got married under a year. And he moved here from Michigan, and he's a lot younger than me. Yeah, that's right. No, I'm just kidding. I still got it. No, I'm just kidding. No, but, he moved here, and I want everyone to be able to find their self and be independent. Like, hey, you do what you do, I do what I do. When we come together, it's going to be something positive. We're going to help each other up versus kick each other down. Like, whatever your personal goal is, I want to help you get there. Whatever your goal is in general, I want to help you get there in life.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what you want to do. You want to build together versus break each other down.
Facts.
And for him, it makes him happy to do things for me and to satisfy me and to give up everything for me, right? And for me, I don't like that because I'm not used to that,
Yeah.
But as a male in general, you want to see your wife happy and you want to be able to do whatever you can to see her succeed. Because when you succeed, or your wife succeeds, you're also going to succeed. And he's willing to take that sacrifice, not because I asked him to, but because he sees that, okay, hey, we can do this together, and you're not doing this alone anymore.
So that's kind of an important thing. I know there's this new generation of dating. You have certain people that are like, hey, I'm looking for someone to, basically take care of me versus, oh, this person has to be established. You got to have this, and this credit or this, this amount of money in the bank. You got to drive this. And a lot of these people aren't even on the same playing field of the people that they want. Talk to me about the importance is, it shouldn't matter really too much who has what and what they have, as long as they have the desire and will to get to the next level and wanting to build together.
Correct. I completely agree with you on that. So a lot of people, they will say what they want, right? Put themselves on a higher pedestal, but they don't bring anything to the table, And with our generation now, what's really sad for me is, well, it just really depends, right? Because a lot of men, they want to be able to have someone that is submissive, right? That doesn't talk back, that is able to provide for them financially, and you provide everything that I need done at home, and I'm able to do whatever I want to do because I bring in the money financially and everything, and I do everything to provide for you, right? But for me, how I see it is, why can't we both make money, right? Why can't we, if you were to fail in general, I want to be the one to back you up and be like, okay, hey, honey, you know, right now it may be hard for you, but I got you. I don't want to take your money and buy you a present with your own money.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Or I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, honey, can I have some money for my nails? Or, hey, because at the end of the day, you give this person 10 years of your life or 15 years of your life. And if they were to walk away, you basically have nothing to fall back on. You put yourself back. But if you both focus on yourself and come together, you're going to be a lot stronger as an individual and as a couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to say, okay, hey, I don't want a man unless he buys me this and this and this. Why do you need a man to do that for you? Why can't you do it on your own?
That's facts you're spitting.
But who are you trying to impress, though?
Exactly. So who are you trying to impress? So, man, but we just got to get back to, because, our parents and their parents, they didn't care about how much a person made or how much money they had. It was really about how that person more made them feel versus more than what they had. And, I really wish we could get back to that as, a civilization. Okay. Yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong. You want to be stable. You do want to be stable. That's something that is that's true to look into. But, if the dude ain't got like $1 million or drive this, that shouldn't matter. If he's a good person and he's good to you and treats you right, the monetary value of his life shouldn't matter. That's how that person makes you feel. Now, if that's someone you're willing to, get in the mud with and bring each other up, then do that. But, don't put restrictions on people because of what you want or how you think, how more important you think you are yourself. Cool. All right. So, you talked about some things there. So I don't know if you saw this little situation that's going on with Jonah Hill. Basically, this girl he's dating, he kind of like, hey, these are basically, he said, these are my standards and, things that make me comfortable and uncomfortable. Basically, he was saying, like, if you can't, work within the things that I'm comfortable with and my boundaries, and, maybe we need not to rock, maybe we need to go our separate ways. And a lot of people were kind of giving him crap about it. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if a real man loves you and cares about you, he's gonna tell you, what his boundaries are and and standards. Because one, if he respects himself, he doesn't want his woman disrespecting him, or, and everyone takes it as like, oh, he trying to tell her what to do, what you can't do. That's not what he's trying to do. When a man, when we tell a woman something, is normally to give advice, because men, we are meant to lead. Real men are meant to lead.
I'm going to have to stop you there.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, it's not about who's leading.
I think it kind of does matter.
No, it kind of doesn't. Let me tell you why. I'm going to put this in perspective, and this is the reason why. Because you can lead, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, a woman is the backbone of the family. They are what holds everything together. Hey, you can be strong, you can be macho, you can wear the pants, but it's not always great to always make the decisions. Don't you want a woman that's going to be there for you and say, hey, honey, this is what I have planned. Let's do this, to where it's 50-50. It's all compromise. You know what I mean? So when you talk about Jonah and when you talk about relationships in general, like, what happens is when people get into relationships, and why a lot of relationships fail is because they have expectations, right? But when I'm in a relationship with you, I already know what you come with, right? So it's your choice to respect me in whatever you do. I can tell you certain things, but at the end of the day, I'm not here to monitor you and tell you exactly, hey, this is what it is, this is what I want, and so forth. And you should already know that, right?
Well, I don't think it's more of that is like, hey, this and this. But I feel like as the man, one of your main jobs is to be a protector. Your woman is looking for you to be a protector, okay?
For sure.
So what comes with protecting, not only from a physical aspect, protecting each other from ourselves. I'm not saying, the man's word is law. That's, that's the final word. But I feel like the man should come in with a certain wisdom. All right, how can I lead us in the right direction? So say, for instance, if you have a great idea, cool. All right, let me look at her idea. Okay, what can I do to make sure that idea goes off with no hiccups? And how can we improve on it and make sure, we can really grow from this idea? So like if you tell me, hey, I want to do this, we should make this amount of money. And I ask you, okay, what is your strategy for us making this money? Okay, cool. Let's put a game plan in place. That's what I mean far as leading. Another thing is, okay, if your home, if your man's like, hey, I'm feeling your friends too much. That's not him trying to tell you what to do. It means he could see like something ain't right with them. I just feel like as a man, that's not just being like, oh, you gonna do this. No, it's about having the wisdom, having the knowledge, being able to see things sometimes that your woman may not be able to see. Or, sometimes your woman may get in situations that she's never dealt with before, and you have, like, hey, let me help guide you to this. Like, say, for instance, you may be dating a girl that's not great financially. Like, she blows a lot of money.
I date girls and guys, not just I used to.
No, but you'll date, sometimes, I've seen guys that date girls, and they are financially irresponsible, okay? And when a man tells them, like, hey, you need to put this money up, they take it as, they're being bossed and told what to do with their money. That is not the case. It's just trying to help you, be better in the situation that you're lacking. And that's what I think one of the tools being a man and a leader, that's what I mean by being a man and a leader. Not like, hey, go clean the dishes or make me something to eat right now.
Right now.
Not like that. I don't want people to get twisted. I don't want to think I'm saying like, oh, being bossy and demanding. No. What I feel as being a man and a leader in a relationship is, being able to guide your family in the right direction.
Yeah, but I get where you're coming from, and I hear you completely, right? And for me, like in the dating scene, it's very difficult for me, right? Because not everyone's going to be financially set as me.
Correct.
But, in society in general, it's not about how much money you have or this or that. My husband's actually 8 years younger than me. And, he was comfortable making whatever he was making, and I was making whatever I was making. And for me, I'm more experienced, but it's not about age because he's very mature for his age as well, right? So it's about life experiences and being able to communicate with each other correctly. A lot of people, it doesn't matter what age they are in, what they'll do is they always want the upper hand and to always feel that they're higher or they're in control, right? So when a lot of people are not in control about certain things, they get upset rather than hearing what anyone else has to say and moving out of what their comfort zone is, right? So being able to adapt, because when you think about relationships in general, you think about the avoidance type of person or the person that is submissive or, depending on what your type is. Yeah. Some people, they just can't learn, right? Even if they're in a relationship, they rather be in the streets than actually be in the relationship. But instead of respecting your husband and saying, okay, hey, I'm so traumatized from my past, they bring it into their new relationship and not taking everything into consideration to, hey, where do we in general need to be in order to grow together, right? So that's the issue with society and being human is we are not open to hear what other people have to say about us when they're only trying to have us do better, right? But if I was to listen to what my friends said or my family said, I wouldn't be as successful as I am today if I was to listen to everyone or care what anyone had to say or judgment or anything, because that's what everyone cares about. That's why all their materialistic stuff. And I don't care how much money I have. I love my solid clothes. It could be $100, it could be $150, but you're not going to know. I don't need to floss that to make me feel better because I'm wearing something or doing something. You know what I mean? So it's kind of being able to accept the fact that, hey, I'm me. I'm going to accept my partner for who they are. I can't control what they do, but I'm going to move forward and see what we can do together to make sure that, hey, we're both happy at the end of the day. And it's not about raising my voice. It's not about telling you what to do, but another thing is not having expectations is what's going to help yourself and your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because your friends will let you down. Your family will let you down. Everyone's going to let you down. You know why? Because they don't meet your expectations. But if you only expect from yourself, you're not going to care about everything else. But with our society now, we care too much about what other people think or what other people do rather than focusing on ourselves and how we can be better and move forward.
Right. Damn, that's facts. That's 100%.
We'll drink to that.
We're gonna drink to that. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So let's do this new segment we got. For those of y'all, this is your first time listening to Ray Ray's podcast, or you're an OG listener. We got this segment on the show. It's called
Slow Down. I just wanna get to know you.
Slow Down. We just want to get to know you. This is where we kind of ask you some random questions. We don't know where we're gonna go with these questions, but we gonna get to it. All right. So let's start off by saying also that this Slow Down segment is brought to you by Lyrically Correct. Lyrically Correct is that lyric trivia card game. So if you think you know your music trivia, go to lyricallycorrect.com, put in promo code RAYH23, and save 20% off of all the products on lyricallycorrect.com. All right? So start off the Slow Down segment. I want you to tell people where they can find you at on social media, find your business. Shout out all those places you want people to visit.
You can find me on Instagram. I do change my handle often because we have a lot of weird people here in the world. But not only that, a lot of people always search for me or, get curious. So I like to change my handle every now and then. But you can find me at m.alybuii.
All right, we got that. Okay, cool. And the business, if they need, maybe they want to get some business from you, they want to come find you. Where can they find that at?
PANYA fabricate.com.
Okay, awesome. All right. So let's start off with this question. What makes you feel like your best self?
What makes me feel like my best self? When I don't care. I can be wilding out at the club. I can be eating dinner, doing whatever I want, and not give a care in the world because I'm just focused on myself, my family, and exactly what's going on right then and now.
Okay, just being carefree. All right. So, if you could do business with anyone, who would you want to do business with?
If I can do business with anyone, who would I do business with? That's hard. Because I have a lot of contracts in place, whether it's in aerospace, whether it's with Tesla. I'm in every industry, even agriculture, even commercial. Like I'm about to do Wicked Butcher right here in Dallas, as well as Wild Salsa. I'm just everywhere. But if I was able to do business with anyone, it would be with the president.
Okay. Yeah, you get the government money.
No, I get the government money. Trust me on that. But to actually have a sit down and round table with him and say, hey, this is what's going on in the real world, right? I know that you're a puppet for everyone, but at the end of the day, like, hey, I need you to wake up.
Yeah.
Like, whether you have your Supreme Court, Senate, all that in place, at the end of the day, they actually need to know what they need to do, right? And I want to be the voice for that.
Okay. So if you had a time machine and you go back to any era of time, where would you? What part of time would you want to go back to?
I'm gonna answer this. You're not gonna like my answer.
Go.
Nope, I'm not gonna say it. But I would go back probably 8 years.
Okay. All right. You don't have to detail anything. We're just saying we understand. All right. All right. Cool. So if I was Ray, the movie producer, and I wanted to make a movie about you, who do you want to star as you in the movie?
Ooh, who would I want to star? Damn, she has to be Asian, right? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe Ashanti.
Ashanti. That's a good answer. I love Ashanti. I love me some Ashanti.
Ashanti or Alicia Keys.
Okay.
Because, they're very successful. They do everything great, and they're always striving, and they'll be to themselves and in public and everything, but you see them always making a difference, whether it's through their music, whether it's through acting, whether it's through their real life.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, I know they can get crazy too.
All right. So a hot topic question that's going on right now. You have this whole situation going on with Usher. All right.
Oof.
So I want to ask you this. All right. Who was in the wrong in this situation? A, was Keke Palmer in the wrong for, one, wearing what she was wearing out, having a man at the house and a kid, having a single man like kind of grind up and sing up on her, even though it's Usher. B, was Usher in the wrong knowing that she's got a man, but he's an entertainer and that's what he entertained? Or C, was her man in the wrong for putting their situation out on blast in public?
Oof. Okay. I know everyone likes to have their fun. You can wear whatever you want, right? But if you have a man at home, hey, you can do whatever you want. But you also have to understand that you have to respect your man, right? Hey, he can grind and do whatever he wants, but you're going to have more respect if you actually push him away or give him the hand or do whatever you were doing. You're going to get more respect for that rather than, I'm going to have fun. I don't care. I'm going to worry about this later. You know what I mean? But, hey, if you respect your man from the beginning, that's something you would never have to touch base on.
Facts. Man, she just dropped the dime on y'all. So
I could be butt naked. I could be butt naked, but I still, I could still respect my husband by, hey, any guy that tried to come at me or any girl that tried to come at, hey, I'm good. I'm taken. It doesn't matter about what you're wearing. Yeah. It's about what you do.
That's some knowledge right there for you. Okay. So if you were the ruler of your own country and you could make your own law, what would it be?
If it was to make my own law, what would it be? Sheesh. Don't care what anyone has to say. You know that there's consequences. There's a cause and effect for everything that you have to do, right?
Yep.
So you know that if you do this, this is going to happen.
Right.
Right? Hey, if you think you can get away with it, hey, and if you get the consequences, just deal with it. Be accountable. Be responsible for everything that you do. Like me, there are a lot of people that go to the grocery stores. They'll push the cart around. They take it out to the car. But they never take it to the cart place where, hey.
The cart carousel, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Stop being a menace to society.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine too. Like, take the basketball. It takes 2 seconds to put it back where it goes. Yeah. I hate when I'm driving in a parking lot. I gotta dodge around carts. Yeah, that's whack. That is whack.
But something as little as that, hey, this is what's in place. Hey, you can do whatever you want, but once you have to face the consequences, take accountability. Don't start crying. Don't start getting mad or start blaming other people because this happened or whatever. Hey, just be like, hey, I messed up. I'm going to take the responsibility and be accountable for everything that happened. That's it.
Thanks.
But people aren't accountable for anything. They're fast at putting the finger on, oh, it was this fault or that fault. No, it was you.
That's funny. All right. So I got 2 questions, and we're gonna wrap here. All right. So I like to always ask these 2 questions. One, if you could give any advice to anyone, no matter what the subject is, what would it be? And secondly, what do you want people to take away from the podcast you did today?
Number 1, focus on yourself. Don't worry about what anyone has to say about you. If you do you, no one got you like you got you. You know, when you care too much and you're trying to save the whole world and they don't care, you're putting too much energy out. You know, just focus on yourself and building yourself and getting to where you need to be. Mm-hmm. That's number 1. Number 2, what to take away from this. You're beautiful. We love you. No, that's facts. You know, everyone has to hear it. Yeah. Like, I've signed on to my social media, and I've actually helped like 4 people stop themselves from committing suicide, you know? And check on your people. You know, you never know exactly what they're going through or exactly what's going on in their life. If you just be kind, love everyone, focus on yourself instead of what other people are doing, and just be kind to them and lift them up rather than kick them down. Hey, what they did in the past does not matter. It's the small steps or steps in general that they're taking that is going to help them in the future. You can't kick someone down when they take 1 step forward and you're kicking them down for what they did 10 years ago. It doesn't make sense.
That's facts. That's facts. We all have a past. We've all gone through situations. You know, don't judge somebody's past on what their future can be. You know, and that's, same thing with, some of these businesses trying to hire people that made mistakes in the past. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people learn from their mistakes. Just give people an opportunity.
I hire felons.
So if anybody out there has got a felony, you need a job, reach out, all right?
I got you.
She got you. Thank you so much for taking your time out, coming and rock with me today. I really appreciate it. It's been a minute. Again, everyone make sure y'all follow her, for all the good things she's doing. Go find her on social media. She's a dope person, all right? So in closing, I start off with positive words. Also got to end with positive words, all right? So again, get your swag on, rub your hands like a Birdman or something, you know what I'm saying, all right? So tell yourself, I will boss up physically. I will boss up spiritually. I will boss up mentally. And I will boss up financially. Invest in yourself. It's your boy Ray Ray's podcast. Catch you on the next time, all right?
Hey.
Hey, get money all day, get money.